The Royal Rumble isn't just 30 wrestlers thrown into a ring, it's 30 roles. Every single entrant is there for a reason, whether it's to shock you, make you laugh, set up WrestleMania, or just to get thrown out. Level 1, the Placeholder, and it's easily the most brutal in the Royal Rumble, because it's also the most invisible. The Placeholder exists just for one reason and one reason only: to stand in the ring and get thrown out. They come in, maybe throw a punch or two, hang around for a bit and wait. Then a bigger star grabs them and launches them over the top rope like they were never there. These are usually mid-card wrestlers or tag team members, and while it might not look important, it gives them a role to play in between all the bigger moments. Placeholders pad out the ring so eliminations feel constant. They make top stars look dominant, and they almost never get a spotlight moment of their own. Every Royal Rumble needs them, even if nobody remembers them afterward. It's not glamorous, but without placeholders, the entire match falls apart. Level 2, the Comedy Entrant. Every Royal Rumble needs a pressure release, and that's where the Comedy Entrant comes in. They're not there to win, and they're barely there to wrestle. They're there to make you laugh. R-Truth is the perfect modern example. Whether it's thinking the Royal Rumble is a ladder match in 2016, or believing he's in a tag match and trying to hot tag Dominic Mysterio. And whilst it wasn't intentional, Titus O'Neil sliding clean under the ring during his entrance in 2018 remains one of the funniest moments in Rumble history. But over the years, Kofi Kingston found a completely new way to own this role. Instead of comedy eliminations, Kofi turned survival itself into a spectacle. Crowd surfing to avoid the floor, getting caught by Big E, using an office chair as a pogo stick, or leaping from the guardrail back into the ring. Every year, fans stopped asking if Kofi would survive elimination and started asking how. It still broke up the seriousness of the match, but in a way that felt creative, athletic, and genuinely exciting. And it became one of the most reliable highlights of the entire Royal Rumble. Level 3, the Overachiever. This is the wrestler nobody expects anything from, and suddenly they've been in the match for 45 minutes. They usually enter early, they don't dominate, they just survive. And that's what makes it special. The Overachiever exists to make you think, wait, they're still in this? They spend the entire match on the brink of elimination. A perfect example is Finlay in 2007. He kicked off the match with Ric Flair and lasted 32 minutes and 32 seconds, without eliminating a single person. But the ultimate Overachiever story is Rey Mysterio in 2006. Rey entered at number 2 and lasted 1 hour, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, winning the entire Royal Rumble as the ultimate underdog. At the time, nobody expected it. Most fans assumed the winner would be Triple H or Randy Orton. Before Rey, the only person to ever win from the number 2 spot was Vince McMahon himself. So Rey's victory didn't just feel impressive, it felt historic. That's why this role works so well. Most overachievers don't win the Rumble, and that's okay, because when they finally get eliminated, it actually hurts. Add on the rare occasion that an overachiever does win, it feels huge, because you just watched them earn every single second. Level 4, the Corporate Favorite. The wrestler WWE needs you to believe in. They enter strong, immediately take control, and start racking up eliminations. And from the moment they arrive, you already know one thing for sure: they're making the Final Four. This role has been filled by names like Roman Reigns, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, Triple H, and CM Punk. Wrestlers who felt untouchable in their prime. A recent example is the 2024 Royal Rumble, where the Final Four included Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk, alongside Cody Rhodes, who ultimately won. Gunther, Drew, and Punk all felt like legitimate winners, yet none of them actually walked away with the victory. These are the stars WWE is fully invested in at the time, heavily favored, carefully protected, and positioned as essential to the company's future. The corporate favorite doesn't get outsmarted, they don't make careless mistakes, and when they're finally eliminated, it feels massive, usually at the hands of the eventual winner. They exist to feel inevitable, and whether the fans love them or hate them, they always feel important. Level 5, the Return. Either a legend who hasn't stepped in the ring for years, or an active wrestler coming back from a long injury layoff. When it's a returning legend, it's pure nostalgia bait. And WWE knows exactly what they're doing. The countdown hits 0, the music hits, and suddenly you're 10 years old again. The wrestler soaks in the moment, hits their greatest moves, and that's usually it. Edge's return in 2020 is the perfect example. He retired in 2011, and most people genuinely believed we would never see him wrestle again, which made that moment incredibly emotional. On the other side of this is the returning active star, and nothing tops John Cena in 2008. He tore his pectoral muscle months earlier and was expected to be out for almost a year. So when his music hit at number 30, absolutely nobody saw it coming. The crowd exploded, Triple H looked genuinely shocked, and Cena went on to win the entire Rumble. When it comes to legends specifically, they're usually not there to win. They're there to remind you who they were. They're often eliminated in a safe, respectful way, usually by a current star who benefits simply from being associated with them. The legend gets their moment, the current roster gets the rub, and everyone walks away happy. Level 6. The surprise debut, and it's the moment every hardcore fan waits for. This can be an NXT call-up, and while we usually see multiple NXT names in the match, it doesn't always mean an immediate promotion, but it does signal that the company has serious faith in that wrestler. Other times, it's even bigger, someone jumping companies entirely. AJ Styles debuting in 2016 is the perfect example. Something heavily rumored, but still impossible to fully believe until that phenomenal hit the Titantron. More recently, moments like Jordan Grace crossing the forbidden line created the same shock value. Their job is to spark conversation, trend online, and tell the audience one clear message. This is someone you should care about now. Even if they're eliminated quickly, the damage is already done. They've arrived. Level 7. The shock finisher. And it's the most important role in the entire match. They usually enter late, they immediately feel different, and the second their music hits, the entire energy of the Rumble shifts. This is the wrestler who either wins the match or completely changes who can win. The number 30 spot is usually reserved for someone special, and it's statistically the most successful entry number for a reason. In 2022, Brock Lesnar entered at number 30, wiped out half the ring, and won the entire thing in dominant fashion. But winning isn't a requirement for this role to work. In 2006, Randy Orton entered at number 30 as the heavy favourite, only to lose to Rey Mysterio. And that loss made Rey's victory feel even bigger. That's the power of the shock finisher. When they're eliminated, if they're eliminated, it feels massive. And when they win, it feels like the outcome was decided the moment their music hits. Once you see these roles, you realize something. The Royal Rumble isn't just random chaos. It's controlled storytelling. Every entrant has a job, every elimination has a purpose, and every year WWE reshuffles these roles just enough to make you believe that anything can happen. And that's why the Royal Rumble still works. So next time you watch one, ask yourself, who's the overachiever? Who's the placeholder? And who's about to change everything?